Seniors, stop doing this before bed stroke risk jumps 300%. Senior health tips. It was 1:32 a.m. when Helen, 69, collapsed on her bedroom floor. No warning, no chest pain, just one tiny habit, done every night for years, had silently triggered a chain reaction in her body. What if I told you that same habit could be quietly increasing your risk of stroke after age 65? And most seniors are doing it without a second thought. In this video, I'll reveal exactly what it is, why it affects the brain during sleep, and what you can do tonight to protect yourself, backed by studies and a former ER doctor who's seen this nightmare firsthand. It doesn't begin with a bang. It begins quietly. Maybe your hand feels a little numb. Maybe your speech slurs for a second. Maybe you chalk it up to fatigue or stress. But for many seniors, what starts as a small sign quickly turns into a full-blown emergency. And every year, hundreds of thousands of older adults face that terrifying moment, a stroke, without realizing their body had been warning them all along. Once we cross 65, the risk of stroke doesn't just increase, it multiplies. According to the CDC, nearly 75% of strokes occur in people over the age. But why? What changes in the body at this age that makes us more vulnerable? The answer is both simple and alarming. With age, blood vessels lose elasticity. The arteries that once carried blood effortlessly to the brain begin to stiffen and narrow. Plaque builds up. Circulation slows down. And if blood clots form, or if pressure builds too high, the brain is the first to suffer. In fact, the Framingham Heart Study, one of the longest-running cardiovascular studies in the world, found that the risk of stroke doubles with each decade after 55. But that's not all. There are silent triggers, things most of us do daily, that put additional stress on our cardiovascular system. Some are physical, like untreated high blood pressure, which is called the silent killer for good reason. Others are less obvious, like chronic inflammation, dehydration, or even certain medications and supplements that interact poorly together. But there's one more trigger that doctors are just now starting to speak up about, a habit that, when done at night, amplifies the stroke risk exponentially in older adults. It affects your blood flow. It messes with your brain's oxygen supply. And it might be something you're doing tonight without thinking twice. Dr. James Walker, a retired ER physician with over 30 years of experience, says he's seen dozens of seniors come in after a stroke that could have been prevented. It wasn't bad luck, he says. It was a dangerous nighttime routine repeated every day until the body finally broke down. In the next section, we'll break down exactly what that habit is. We'll also explain why it becomes more dangerous after 65, and what happens inside your brain and blood vessels while you sleep. And if you stay with me till the end, I'll also reveal 3 simple nighttime adjustments backed by clinical research that can drastically lower your risk and help protect your brain as you age. Because protecting yourself isn't about fear. It's about knowledge, action, and choosing the small habits that can save your life. So what's the habit? It's something many seniors consider harmless, even helpful. Drinking water right before bed. Now, wait. Before you raise an eyebrow, hear this out. Hydration is essential. Every part of your body, from your joints to your brain, depends on water. But the timing of that hydration, especially in the hours before sleep, can carry unexpected consequences for aging bodies. You see, when you drink a full glass of water right before bed, your kidneys go to work immediately. Your bladder fills. And at some point during the night, Your body sends you a signal. Get up. That's where the danger begins. Nocturnal waking, especially sudden standing from bed, causes sharp drops in blood pressure, known as orthostatic hypotension. For older adults, this can momentarily reduce blood flow to the brain, increasing the risk of clot formation, falls, or even stroke onset in higher-risk individuals. A 2020 study, published in Neurology, found that nighttime blood pressure fluctuations and sudden drops were linked to a 33% increase in stroke risk in individuals over 65. And it wasn't just the waking itself. It was the disturbed sleep cycles, the fragmented REM sleep, and the rebound surges in blood pressure afterward that pushed the cardiovascular system into a dangerous rhythm. But there's another piece to this. When you're horizontal, lying flat, your body redistributes fluids. In seniors with underlying circulation issues, this can mean fluid pooling around the neck and airway, which worsens snoring, apnea, and sleep-disordered breathing. And according to the American Stroke Association, sleep apnea increases stroke risk by up to 4 times, especially in older adults. So now we have a chain reaction. You drink water before bed. You wake up at 2 a.m. needing the bathroom. You stand too quickly. Blood pressure dips. You go back to bed. Sleep is broken. Oxygen drops. Blood pressure spikes again. The fragile vessels in your brain, already worn thin with age, can't take the stress. Stroke becomes a ticking clock. And it all started with something as innocent as hydrating before sleep. Now, does this mean you should stop drinking water at night entirely? Absolutely not. But it does mean that timing and understanding your body's overnight response is critical. Dr. Mallory puts it plainly. For seniors, the cardiovascular system is like a well-worn bridge. Every sudden load, every stressor, especially at night, can crack the surface. And the worst part is, most people don't even realize the pressure they're putting on it. Let's be clear. Your body needs water, especially after 60. Hydration keeps your blood from thickening, supports digestion, cushions your joints, and regulates your body temperature. But what most seniors don't realize is that the when matters just as much as the how much. And when it comes to stroke prevention, the hours before bed are crucial. Dr. James Walker explains it simply. You want to enter sleep in a state of hydration stability, not overhydration, and certainly not dehydration. The goal is balance. Here are the 3 nighttime hydration rules he gives his senior patients to protect their heart and brain health. Rule 1. Cut off fluids 90 minutes before bed. The key is giving your kidneys enough time to process the water before you lie down. Why 90 minutes? According to a 2014 study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine, individuals who stopped drinking fluids 1.5 to 2 hours before bed experienced 47% fewer nocturnal awakenings than those who continued hydrating right up to bedtime. This isn't just about convenience. It's about reducing the risk of sleep fragmentation. Sudden nighttime blood pressure drops, urinary urgency, which can force unsafe nighttime movements. Aim to finish your final glass of water at least an hour and a half before sleep. If you take medications with water at bedtime, speak with your doctor about shifting them earlier when possible. Rule 2. Front load your hydration in the morning and afternoon. Your body's ability to absorb and utilize water is highest when you're active. So train your hydration to peak during the day when your metabolism is running and your heart rate is elevated. Think of your hydration like a bank account. You want to deposit early so you're not scrambling at night. According to the Mayo Clinic, Seniors should aim for 7 to 9 cups of fluid per day from all sources. But the bulk of that should come before 6 p.m. That way your bladder and kidneys don't go into overdrive at 2 a.m. Rule 3. Hydrate smarter. Not just more plain water is great, but not all hydration is created equal. Some fluids increase your risk more than others. Avoid sugary drinks before bed. They spike insulin and disrupt sleep quality. Caffeinated beverages. These are diuretics and can trigger overnight dehydration, followed by rebound thirst. Alcohol. It may make you sleepy, but it dilates blood vessels and increases the risk of arrhythmias and nighttime blood pressure drops. Instead, try this recommended combo for seniors. A small glass of water with a pinch of pink Himalayan salt and a squeeze of lemon. 2 hours before bed. This helps balance electrolytes, supports vascular tone, and minimizes nocturnal dehydration without overburdening your bladder. And if you must drink water right before bed due to thirst, take small sips, not full glasses. These aren't just hydration tips. They're stroke prevention protocols designed specifically for aging bodies. They protect your sleep, your vessels, and your brain. You might think of sleep as the safest time of the day, but for seniors, the position in which you sleep can mean the difference between a restful night and a silent vascular crisis. Here's why. When you lie down, your body goes into a state of autonomic regulation. Your heart rate slows. Your blood pressure drops. Your breathing becomes shallow. It's the body's way of conserving energy and recovering. But for individuals over 65, this shift also puts additional strain on circulation, especially to the brain, and one particular sleeping posture silently amplifies the risk: sleeping flat on your back with no head elevation. Why is this dangerous? Because when you lie flat, the venous drainage from your brain slows down. Gravity is no longer helping your blood return to the heart. For younger individuals, the body compensates easily, but for seniors, whose jugular vein valves may already be weakened and arterial stiffness more pronounced, this can result in transient intracranial pressure spikes during sleep. According to a 2017 study published in the Journal of Stroke and Cerebrovascular Diseases, sleeping in a completely flat position increased the risk of nocturnal stroke by 23% in older adults, especially those with underlying hypertension or vascular inflammation. And if you suffer from sleep apnea or snoring, the risk becomes even more serious. Why? Because lying flat narrows the airway. It leads to interrupted breathing, lower oxygen levels, and frequent micro-awakenings. And this, in turn, creates a roller coaster effect on your blood pressure, dipping low, then surging high repeatedly. Over time, this weakens the small vessels in your brain, making them more susceptible to rupture or blockage. So, what's the safer alternative? Dr. James Walker, the former ER doctor who's treated hundreds of stroke patients, offers a simple solution: gravity-assisted sleeping. Elevate your head and upper torso by 10 to 30 degrees using a wedge pillow or adjustable mattress. This modest incline helps enhance blood return from the brain, reduce neck and airway pressure, lower the intensity of nighttime blood pressure swings. And if you suffer from GERD, acid reflux, or nasal congestion, it helps with that too. But elevation isn't the only factor. Side sleeping, especially on the left side, has also shown benefits for cerebrovascular flow and lymphatic clearance, according to a study in the Journal of Neuroscience. This sleeping posture supports better drainage from the brain and may improve overall detoxification during sleep. Now, to be clear, There's no universal perfect sleep position, but there are positions that reduce vascular stress, especially in the aging body. What matters is that you avoid lying completely flat. Support your head, neck, and shoulders in alignment. Choose a position that doesn't restrict airflow or compress your arteries. Even this small adjustment can significantly lower your risk and give your heart and brain the nighttime support they deserve. It's not just your body. Your bedroom could be putting you at risk. Many seniors meticulously manage their medications, monitor their blood pressure, and follow their doctor's orders, but overlook the very environment they sleep in every night. What if your room's temperature, your choice of lighting, even your electronics were quietly working against your heart and brain while you sleep? Let's start with temperature. Most seniors think that keeping the room toasty is safer. After all, cold feet and stiff joints are no fun. But here's what the science says. According to a study published in The Lancet, stroke incidence increased significantly during colder nighttime temperatures, especially when the body's internal thermostat couldn't adapt quickly. Why? Cold constricts blood vessels. And for seniors with stiffened arteries, that vasoconstriction spikes blood pressure during sleep, a dangerous combination when the body is supposed to be at rest. The ideal range, between 60 to 67 degrees, 15 and across. This cooler environment promotes deeper sleep, reduces nighttime blood pressure variability, lowers heart rate and inflammation markers. Now, let's talk about blue light. Many seniors use tablets or watch TV before bed. Some even fall asleep with the screen on. But blue light from these devices suppresses melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep cycles. When melatonin drops, your sleep becomes lighter, shorter, and more fragmented. But here's the deeper issue. Melatonin isn't just about sleep. A 2016 study in Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity revealed that melatonin also has neuroprotective and antioxidant effects, protecting blood vessels and reducing stroke severity in experimental models. By suppressing melatonin, blue light may actually reduce your brain's natural stroke defense while you sleep. Here's what you can do. Install blue light filters on devices. Stop screen exposure at least 1 hour before bed. Use warm, amber-colored bedside lamps after sunset. Avoid overhead lighting at night, which stimulates alertness. Finally, let's address the overlooked threat of electromagnetic interference. While research here is still emerging, studies like the one published in Electromagnetic Biology and Medicine suggest that sleeping near wireless routers, cordless phones, or charging electronics may interfere with sleep quality and increase oxidative stress in sensitive individuals, especially the elderly. While the evidence isn't definitive, many stroke recovery clinics already recommend creating a sleep sanctuary by keeping phones off or in airplane mode at night, placing routers outside the bedroom, turning off smart devices or TVs before sleep. These may sound like small changes, but remember, stroke doesn't just happen because of one big event. It's a result of daily microstressors building quietly until the system fails. Fixing your bedroom environment is one of the easiest and most overlooked ways to protect your brain. In the next section, we'll reveal 3 proven bedtime rituals used in stroke recovery clinics that help seniors calm their nervous system, optimize blood flow, and sleep like their life depends on it, because it might. Imagine ending each day not with anxiety or discomfort, but with a quiet, calming ritual that actively protects your brain and strengthens your body. That's exactly what some of the best stroke rehabilitation clinics around the world are now teaching their patients. Why wait for a crisis to make the change? These 3 bedtime practices, adapted from stroke recovery centers in the US, Germany, and Japan, are simple, effective, and backed by science. Let's walk through them. Habit number 1, the neurological wind down, gentle neck and shoulder mobilization. Before you even touch the bed, spend 5 minutes activating and calming the vagus nerve, the body's main pathway for relaxation and blood flow regulation. How? Begin with slow, circular movements of the shoulders, 10 in each direction. Follow with gentle neck tilts from side to side and small chin to chest stretches. According to a 2021 study in Frontiers in Neurology, this type of mild mobilization before bed reduced nighttime blood pressure spikes by 17% in adults over 65. It's not about working out. It's about priming the nervous system for deep, restorative sleep and reducing the vascular pressure that can trigger strokes during REM. Here is a bonus pair, the stretches with deep nasal breathing. Inhale for 4, exhale for 6, to further lower heart rate and blood pressure. Habit number 2, the circulation boost, legs up, wall pose or pillow elevation. Stroke prevention begins with proper blood flow, especially to and from the brain. And after a full day of gravity pulling blood into your legs, there's a simple reversal trick clinics recommend. Lie on your bed and place your legs either up against the wall or over a stack of pillows, so that they're slightly above heart level. Hold this pose for 5 to 10 minutes. What does this do? It reduces venous pooling, encourages lymphatic drainage, and gives your heart and brain a break from pressure. A small trial from the Journal of Geriatric Cardiology showed that seniors who performed this passive position nightly had better morning blood pressure regulation and fewer leg cramps after just 2 weeks. If you can't elevate against a wall, don't worry. A few firm pillows under your calves will work just as well. Habit number 3, the sleep command cue, a single sensory trigger. Before bed stroke clinics often use neuroassociation techniques to help patients sleep consistently. One of the simplest, create a sleep cue, a sensory signal that tells your brain it's time to shut down. This could be a specific scent, lavender, chamomile oil, a 5-minute soundscape, ocean waves, low frequency, white noise, or even a small massage ritual, like applying rosemary or magnesium oil to your legs. The point is to anchor the act of going to bed to a calming, repeated signal. Over time, this forms a neural link. The body recognizes the signal, releases melatonin, and slows down your system naturally. In a Japanese study on elderly stroke patients, those who practiced anchored sleep cues reported falling asleep 28% faster and experiencing fewer nighttime awakenings within just 1 week. Your cue doesn't have to be fancy. It just has to be consistent. The same scent, the same sound, the same touch, every single night. Together, these 3 rituals form a protective triangle. Mobilize the body, redirect circulation, trigger sleep naturally, and when done daily, they create not just better sleep, but a defense system against the slow, silent risk factors that build up over time. In the next segment, we'll tackle something most seniors never consider: the medications and supplements they take before bed, and the dangerous combinations that might be silently increasing their stroke risk. Your doctor gave you a prescription. Your pharmacist handed you a bottle. Maybe your neighbor or a health blog recommended a supplement. So, like millions of seniors, you follow the routine, a handful of pills before bed. But here's the shocking thing. Some of those bedtime combinations may be silently raising your risk of stroke, disrupting blood pressure control, interfering with sleep quality, and creating a deadly cocktail inside your body, night after night. Let's break down the 5 most dangerous combinations based on real ER cases and recent clinical studies. Combo 1. Blood pressure medications and diuretics at night. Many seniors take their ACE inhibitors, beta blockers, or diuretics, like furosemide, before bed, thinking it's harmless. But taken together at night, these drugs can crash your blood pressure too low during sleep, a phenomenon known as nocturnal hypotension. In older adults, this sharp drop can cut off oxygen flow to the brain, especially in the early morning hours when strokes most often occur. The Hypertension Optimal Treatment Study found that seniors on nighttime diuretics were twice as likely to experience fainting, dizziness, and early morning ischemic events. Solution: ask your doctor if you can shift diuretics to earlier in the day and monitor blood pressure at night using a wrist cuff. Combo 2. Sleep aids and antihistamines. It seems innocent, just a sleeping pill and something for allergies like diphenhydramine, Benadryl. But this mix suppresses the central nervous system, slows breathing, and may lead to dangerously low oxygen levels during sleep, especially in older adults with undiagnosed sleep apnea. Even over-the-counter PM medications can increase the risk of nighttime confusion, falls, and vascular instability. A study published in Drugs and Aging showed that this combo raised nighttime heart rate variability and tripled the risk of stroke-like symptoms in older adults over 70. Combo 3. Blood thinners plus omega-3 or turmeric supplements. You're trying to be healthy. You take your prescribed warfarin or clopidogrel for heart health and add in an omega-3 or turmeric capsule for inflammation. But here's the catch. Both omega-3 and turmeric have blood-thinning effects, and when combined with prescription anticoagulants, they can tip your body into internal bleeding risk territory, including brain bleeds that mimic hemorrhagic strokes. A 2018 meta-analysis in the Journal of Thrombosis and Homeostasis warned that the supplement plus anticoagulant combo is widely underreported and often misunderstood by patients who believe natural means safe. Combo 4. Statins plus grapefruit supplements. You may have heard that grapefruit juice interferes with statins, but did you know grapefruit extract capsules can be even more dangerous? Grapefruit blocks CYP3A4, a liver enzyme that helps break down statins. When statins don't metabolize properly, they build up in the bloodstream, leading to muscle damage, blood pressure spikes, and even stroke from vascular stress. Researchers from the University of North Carolina found that seniors taking simvastatin or atorvastatin with grapefruit extract had up to 5x higher statin concentration in their blood, leading to toxicity symptoms within weeks. Combo 5. Antidepressants plus herbal calming aids like valerian, St. John's wort, CB. You want to sleep. You feel anxious. So you take your prescription antidepressant at night and add a few drops of calming herbs or CBD. The result? A potential serotonin storm in your brain. These combinations can amplify neurotransmitter activity, leading to irregular heartbeat, blood pressure swings, and neurological symptoms like tremors or confusion. In vulnerable patients, this can trigger a vascular event. A 2019 study in psychopharmacology flagged the dangerous synergy between SSRIs and calming botanicals, warning that seniors metabolize these substances more slowly, increasing toxicity risk. While you're sleeping, your body slows down, but your brain, it shifts into its most powerful gear. Every night, if conditions are right, your brain activates a built-in cleaning crew, a microscopic task force called the glymphatic system. This system doesn't just sweep out mental clutter. It removes toxic proteins, reduces inflammation, regulates blood flow, and even clears the microscopic plaque deposits linked to Alzheimer's and vascular dementia. But here's the part most people never hear. This cleansing system only works during deep sleep, and deep sleep only happens when your nervous system is calm, your circulation stable, and your body isn't interrupted by medications, bladder trips, overheating, or shallow breathing. Now, imagine what happens when all of that doesn't go right. Instead of cleansing your brain, the glymphatic system shuts down. Toxins accumulate. Vessels stay inflamed. Micro tears and arteries don't get repaired. And the groundwork is laid, quietly, for a future stroke or cognitive breakdown. But here's the good news. Every single one of the habits we've talked about in this video, from timing your hydration, to adjusting your sleep position, to clearing dangerous medication stacks, to creating bedtime rituals that calm your mind and body, all of it feeds into one goal: protecting your brain when it's most vulnerable, and helping it heal while you sleep. Because healing doesn't always happen at the hospital. Sometimes it happens in silence. If you thought that was shocking, just wait until you hear the next story I've got for you right here. It's even more unbelievable. But before we dive in, if you enjoy true stories like this, make sure to subscribe now and tell me in the comments, what would you have done in this situation?